Director Danny Coulson. Danny, good to see you this evening. I know that the men and women of the FBI you hold near and dear to your heart. Your thoughts as you listen to the fallout here?
Well, I think we have to understand, Megan, this never was an FBI investigation. This was James Comey's investigation. He hijacked that investigation, took it away from FBI agents in the field who are not influenced by pressure or fear or politics, took it into his own office and never let the FBI do it. That's very disturbing to me that he did that. The FBI is intact. Christopher Wray did a magnificent job today putting this thing in perspective. This wasn't an FBI deal. This was a James Comey deal with his minions that sought to influence an investigation and ended up not doing one.
Yeah, what goes through your mind when you look at an exchange like this between Lisa Strzok and with Peter Strzok, excuse me, and Lisa Page? Page says in a text message, Trump is not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Strzok says, no, he is not. We'll stop it.
Well, I think they did stop it. If you look at the animus in those emails and the bias, and then see what they didn't do, how they conducted this weak, ineffective, sophomoric investigation that did not use a grand jury, that didn't do hard-hitting investigations, and was conducted by people at a much too high level. They should have allowed FBI field agents to do that. They're tougher, they're harder, and they don't care about politics.
Danny, let me ask you a question. This is in the report that came out today, and this is what they say about the grand jury. It says, we found that one of the reasons for not using a grand jury for testimony involved concerns about exposing grand jurors to classified information. How does that wash with you?
It's laughable. I did Iran-Contra. That involved a lot of classified material. We indict spies, and we expose the grand jury to it. That's a specious argument. I have a hard time with that. I've talked to other agents today and the former agents today. They all laughed at it, too. Grand juries, there's a process, Megan, to do that.
It's Martha, but that's okay, Danny. I know. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
But there is a process, and they didn't do it.
Let me ask you one other here, because this also really stuck out to me in terms of the interview that they did with Hillary Clinton at the very end. And we know that the report was basically written before they even sat down with her. And the Inspector General says, we found that by the date of her interview, the mid-year team and Comey had concluded that the evidence did not support criminal charges. And then in parentheses, absent a confession or false statement by Clinton during the interview, and that the interview had little effect on the outcome of the investigation. How can that be?
It can't be. It shouldn't be. And I think that's why we have to look at bias here. They were biased to come up with a conclusion. Whether the director didn't have the courage to go forward with a proper investigation or had a bias, I don't know the answer to that. But I know that it's not our job to make a prosecutive opinion. We do a complete, full investigation, give it to somebody else. They decide, not us. And you don't formulate your investigation based on a preconceived notion of innocence or guilt. Yeah. That's the way the FBI operates, but not in this case.
I mean, I think it's interesting. There's all the headlines coming out of this, or many of them are, well, there was no bias in the investigation. When I actually started reading it, I couldn't understand where that takeaway really came from. But one other thing, because Christopher Wray spoke about this today, let's put up this chart that is part of the report that shows the pattern of leaks coming out of the FBI. So just, obviously at home, you can't really grasp this completely. But the little red circles in the middle are reporters. And then there are numbers that extend out, showing the number of exchanges between the reporter and people like, for example, the deputy assistant director, the staff operations specialist, the senior special agent, the general attorney, all going to this reporter person in the middle. And there are 3 different circles that show all of the myriad of contacts that were had. Is this the FBI that you know, sir?
No, Martha, it is not. We have media people, and if you want something to go to the media, you go to them. They're the ones that have your relationship with the media, with networks or whoever. It's not the job of 1,000 people in the FBI to talk to the media. That's why we have leaks. And I think Christopher Wray addressed that today. Yeah. They're going to do a study to see what they should do, and what they should do is go back to what we did. Don't talk to them.
don't talk to me. I know FBI agents that I try to get stuff out of, and they don't talk to me. So there are a lot of good ones out there, and we all know it. Danny, thank you very much. It's good to speak with you tonight. The former agents will give you a little bit more, but good to see you tonight.